possibly it's time I sat down and had a little chat with you again, and we did another vlog. Second vlog of this year being back, so I haven't done many chat. So we've left France, the place has been sold. I was going to buy again another little life for the next 6 years over there. Rosie needs to finish work here really if we can, so we made the choice to sell up there for many reasons. Partly my health and age, partly Brexit, partly COVID. Everything was conspiring against continuing at the moment. And to have done another 5 or 6 years and lost another 30,000–40,000 pounds buying and selling and the stress and so on, just having to do 3 weeks packing up, that's all I had for my Brexit time, stopped me from staying over there. I sold and had 3 weeks to pack and store an entire house full of stuff, which was quite an ordeal, I can tell you, very, very stressful. Some friends helped out and some didn't, but there we go. You soon find out who matters in life, don't you? So thank you to those that did. And somebody else has now moved in, the final act has been done, and a very nice lady from Paris has taken the place. And I think a little bit like England, there's a huge move for people to move out of cities and back into the country. So the country properties are going fairly quickly. And all of that stress and hassle hopefully behind me, except for the tax things to deal with now. Hopefully it won't be too bad. And I've left it until now because I needed to have these loose ends tied up to see where directions were going. So a couple of the hotels and galleries there asked to keep my work in, so I've left some work over there, and another friend is trying to look after those and be an agent for me to some degree across there. And we'll see how that works. It's not easy, but if it does, and they can have a store of paintings over there, so there's still 60 paintings over there. And I've got a good 70 upstairs, plus 80 odd loose works, so plenty of paintings out and about and still producing, as you see. So I came back then this autumn and was concerned about my health and was going to buy another house, and then the doctor warned me that something wasn't quite right with stomach and so on. So I had tests and found out I got 2 cancers on one kidney, and it has to come out in about 2 days' time. In fact, I'm going in this coming Wednesday, and it's now Friday. So there we go. So what life holds in the future we're not sure about. We watch this space. There will be more adventures. I'm not giving up yet on life. So we get the money back from France and we look as whether we stay here or sell from here and move on to something else. But it's looking like we're looking towards the last 1 or 2 stages of our retirement now, and maybe need something a little bit different. I still need more space than this really from all my artwork and so on. I'm having, at the moment, all of my stuff is in a massive 40-foot container not far away, costing me 200 quid a month just for that. And I have a whole house full of stuff there, let alone the stuff in this house. So we've got a bit of sorting out to do. But things are moving forward, and it's going to be better for Rose's future, I'm sure, as well. The moves I'm making, which is partly why I've made these moves now. As I say, it's just as well with the surgery coming up and my health as it is that we probably left now and didn't leave that to be panicking. If this had happened and I'd just carried on into buying another one, and then with COVID as well and not being sure about being able to go back and when and so on like that. And we looked at the whole thing. I mean, even at 70 to go back, it was going to cost me over £500 a summer just for the health insurance. Then you've got the 100 and something for getting a long-term visa and the 2 visits to Manchester. And so these things go on and on and on. And the difficulties of moving work around and getting it sent even back to England, and the costs of tax, and later on having to bring my stuff back, and they were going to try and tax after this June, they're going to try and tax us on our own belongings that even brought over here to take them back. It just adds up and up and up, and it didn't really, had to put sensible hat on. And although I emotionally love my life there, I love my home there, the life was better for me there, much better suited for me over there than here. But no, sensible hat says this is the time to make the break, and that's what I've done. And I hope I'll still be able to go back and visit. I have friends there. I hope my work still continues. We've yet to see. So get this operation with kidney out this week, and then we'll see where life's going. So in the meantime, here's some snippets from I've been back here to make up the little vlog and let you catch up with the news. And as I say, we'll see where life goes, we'll see where the painting goes, we'll see where the fishing goes, where the shooting goes, everything else, because I'm not giving up yet. Can we all see the camera?
Yes.
No one can see it. You can wave to it and say, Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
And a big orange.
A straw.
Get it won't happen.
Eagle, but I was close. I was so close.
You said seagull.
I know. That's what I said. I was close.
It's going to be the next one. What is brown and sticky?
Colin, volume down to 0. Phew. Where's his plug? I'm going to unplug him. I'm going to unplug him so he turns off. There we go. Turn him on.
Yes, please.
I've got the
It's not like the school gravy, but like everything else, it all does a nice pasta dishes and things.
Oh, school's apple pie. Our schools.
Those plates.
Yeah.
Do you want a bit of everything?
No, Dad, what did that one school?
Sorry.
Turn around and try.
I can't see
You don't get it.
I'm right in the way.
I don't think I need it at all, but anyway. Just eat, that'll be alright.
Don't worry, I'm going to leave a very appropriate Google review after this.
Wait a minute.
There are many followers on Google.
Where is it? Which way?
Down here we have some deer in the distance and pheasants here in the foreground. Just see them. Beautiful as the sun comes out over the snow. Gulls swirling around feeding time for the pigs in blankets. Winter wonderland. You enjoying it? Here we are at Elsham Church, a little place I haven't visited before. Look, it's very pretty. There's a woodland alongside Elsham Hall. And then there's a woodland alongside Elsham Hall as well. Back at Worlaby, where I looked at painting a few weeks ago. Just have a look around here to see if there's another painting possible. early snowdrops just coming out. The English trees and the rookery here. I was saying, all these snowdrops just coming out, look. In a winter breeze, first signs of spring. South Ferriby, the end of our low road drive at the churches today. So we have some potential for painting at some stage. Lovely old yew trees again. Come down to Saxby, to the village hall, to do a little lesson down this unlocked so I can get set up. Small group, 4 or 5 people, but there'll be a couple of extras joining us. So yes, in the future, I know you want to keep this not as a constant lesson theme, just doing an art group, which is fine. But like today, I'm going to show you a specific thing which is quite fun, just to introduce some of the ways of watercolouring that we can do. But if in future, for instance, you have a particular problem as a group that you want to be shown, I want to paint clouds, I want to paint trees, I've got, you know, in whichever, in oils, in acrylics, in whatever, then I will come in specifically for you and just help you out. But the beauty is, that's totally waterproof. So if you make a mark, you've had it, you can't get them off. So your drawing wants to be reasonable. But with so loose what we're going to do today, it won't matter. But we're going to do our blacks, and I don't normally use pure black, but I have been more in my more recent contemporary works. Light colours, you don't have to leave the snow behind. In this case, with what we're doing, we don't have to use masking fluid. It's all going to do it today. It's fun. Art should be fun. You're going to get bogged down with trying to be perfect and who's next to you and who's doing better than you are, and forget it. You need a bit of purple coming in there. And we're not going to paint all of these. The idea is you want to use these as the shadows, so we're not going to paint them all out. Do feel across the snow as well. It's not just a cartwheel of marks. We've got marks coming across. I don't need to do a lot more with that top one, do I? Get the masking fluid off this now, so I can now start to make it look a bit like a bit of old birch. Borrow my paints or borrow my photographs, or you can take away what you need. Anybody else need a photograph? You've got all got. I'll come round and we'll photograph all you're doing. That's great. Individual art. And people say, oh no, you're doing a lesson, everybody's work's going to be the same, and it's not. But it's new techniques, and it's so free this year, is you're using so much pastel that you're starting. Going on. You can move it off, you can see the colours, and that's...
That's it.
So there we are. We've had some fun today, haven't we? Yeah. And learned some about colours and all sorts of techniques, and we'll produce something interesting. So we'll put that up on the Facebook and on the YouTube, and everybody have a laugh.